Okay, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you're watching this training from. Um, very quickly, just continue from where we stopped the previous class that we're trying to get a website like this, and we did the index.html page, and then we also had some CSS provided for the index.html page, which you can see right here on the screen. Now, I removed the index.css. I removed the CSS for the page that we earlier added. So I'm going to add some section and the index.html. So I just want us to design the index.html page completely, and then we'll move on to the CSS property. Thereafter, we're going to design the about us page and then the page for services. And so right now, when you're watching on the screen, there's no CSS attached to this. So I'm just going to go back to our text editor and add some, finish up with the index of HTML page, and then move on straight to the CSS page. I quickly want to show it something from our code editor. Earlier, when we started this training, the link for the CSS wasn't like that. So what I did was to add a folder, created a folder in a web development folder, and then link the CSS to it. That's why you can see it showing like this. So just for easy understanding, I'm going to show you right here. Let me go back to my web development folder. I'm going to show you what I did. So this is the folder here I added, and then the CSS is inside this folder. So you just do the same. Add another folder inside your web development folder that you've opened for this web development training project. Create a CSS folder, and then save your style.css in that folder, and follow the lesson to follow each steps I'm making in this lesson tutorial. Very quickly, I'll go back to my code editor. So over here before the newsletter, I'd love to add another section. I'd love to add a section before the newsletter. This section, let me show you from here. Let me go back to the website. So I'd love to add this hero section over here. I didn't add it the earlier time, so let's see how we can achieve this. I'm gonna add this right away. So let me go back to our code editor right now. So over here, so you need to click enter. Let's give it a section. So we're going to give it a section ID of container. It's a section there. I think there's a mistake. Once you've done that, all right, I don't know if somebody's raising up his hand for a question also. Um, whatever question you have, just write it down after so you can ask a question, or you just chat me up privately if you have any question. You don't understand what I'm doing, just chat me up privately, and I give you opportunity to ask your question. So let's go ahead. We give it a section ID of showcase. That's exactly what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and say section. So we're going to give you a section ID. Let's say the ID of showcase. That's exactly ID. Let's say showcase. Showcase. Now after that, you're going to give it div. Open another div. Give it a div class of container. So I'm going to come over here and say container. Let's say the container. So once you're done, give it. Once you're done, all you just need to do is start your H1 tag, add your H1 tag, heading, just give it a heading. You can name the heading whatever you want to. Let's see, H1. So name it whatever you want to. Let's say affordable web design or whatever you want to. I'm just gonna come over here and write whatever I want to say. Affordable web design. Affordable, affordable, affordable website design. And then give it a paragraph. So should you just give it a paragraph? So already have my text ready, so you can write whatever you want to write. I already have this so cemented text. I want to copyright it. My I'm just gonna copy that cemented text and paste it over here. So Sorry for the delay. I think there's a mistake. Okay. My server is a bit down. It's a bit slow today because we're having a downtime. It's been like that for a couple of days right now. Trying to fix it. So let me save these and go back to our web browser and see what we got. So let me come over here. So this is it. This is exactly what we've done, right? So after that, we need to add another section. We need to add another section. That's after the newsletter. Let's go back. We need to add this section, give it a section ID of box 6. So what you can see here, they're all box 6, put in the image. And now let me quickly explain this. I said it's a file with this image. So if we have the image, the image is what we're going to be using to design this website. So the zip file you had, please copy all the images on the zip file and put in the image folder you've created for this website design. So let's go back to a code editor and see how we can achieve the let's see how we can achieve the boxes. Okay, so let's create another section and give it a section ID of box 6. Let's go back to our text editor, create another section. I think I need to close up some mark the spacing right here. Let's just make everything unique. Let's say right. Let's just make it a bit unique. Okay. So I'm gonna come over here, right, and let's give it another section. This is section. What was it? So you give it a section ID of boxes. Let's say section ID. So boxes. We give it a boxes and give it a div class of container. Give it a div class of container. And at the moment we try to do this thing because what we're using most of our web elements is div, and then we're gonna be using branding div class content, div class container, and we're gonna be using div class and then the container itself. So what I'm gonna do next is to give it a div class of container. All right, 2 days. And then once you're through that, then let's give it a div class of let's see. Yeah, just go ahead and do what you see on the screen. I'll put another give it another div class. Let's see. Give it another div class. Let's say boxes. Let's say boxes. Again, we'll try and put in the image for these boxes, right? So let's the image. They close the boxes and yeah. And let's give it an image source. All right. Let's see. Okay. All right. Let's see. IMG. Now we're trying to add the image. Remember that our image has been linked to a folder. So all you just gotta do because it's linked, give it a link. Let's see. Give it a dot link. Uh, give it a dot link. This is slash img. So 6 is listed a folder slash. Let's logo.html. Then come over here and close this guy right here. Right. So there, let's give it a heading. Let's give it a heading. Heading one. Let's say heading one. Give it a heading of HTML. HTML markup. Let's say markup. Then give it a paragraph. So paragraph. Now I'm just gonna copy some semantic text right away and just paste it there. That'll save our time. Go back and just paste this guy right away. And then let's save this. Let's go back. Let's go back to our browser and see what we've done. So you can see, right? And what about this? We're gonna design. So what I'm just gonna do, I think I just need to duplicate the boxes and see how I need to duplicate the boxes. Don't worry, the image is too big. We're gonna resize it when we're designing CSS properly. So let's go back to our test editor. Let's go back to our test editor. So I'm gonna come over here. Close this. So what I'm gonna do is to copy this section right here. Let me close this. Let's add this section. Add another section. So let's save it and let's go back and see what we've done. Let's go back to our browser. Okay, so you see what we got. So all you just got to do, change the heading and then the image. This is all you got to go back to the text editor. Let's change the heading. So we have this guy over here. So let's say this. Let's change this right. Let's change this to CSS. Change it to CSS. We're going to CSS, and then let's see. Let's give it a CSS3. Whatever you can CSS3. Give it a heading of CSS3, and then let's give it some. Let's make it unique. Let's see cascaded star sheet. This cascaded star sheet. Then I'm gonna leave the paragraph like that. I'm just gonna come over here, change this guy to a brush. Let's change it. Let's a brush. Brush. Save it right away. Change the heading to. Let's change the heading to graphic design. It's graphic design. Graphic design. All right, I'm still with you guys. Have a question? Just drop it below. And I'm gonna answer right away. So let's save these and go back to our browser. Let's see what you've got it. Okay, so right, good. So the next thing we're gonna do is to don't worry when we are adding the CSS property, we're gonna align everything to the middle. Make our margin auto because we want everything centralized. So let's add a footer. Let's go ahead and do our footer. So let's go ahead and do a footer. So we're gonna add our footer right away. And to do that very quickly, let's go back to our code editor. Let's add some footer. So I'm gonna shift this guy out of the way. Try to make it look more unique, right? Let's see. Okay, so let's go back. Let's just give it. So let's go. So footer, let's do our footer right away. So I'm gonna type footer. I'll bring it down right here. Then Tinkerbell has some text ready for footer. I'm just gonna copy and paste it just to save our time. I mean, you can write whatever you want to write. It's a paragraph. Give it a paragraph. Let's see. All right. So I'm gonna save this. I mean, you can write the footer or whatever you want to write. Okay. So let's go back and see what we've done. Okay. So we got our footer right here. So we've actually achieved the first page. So let's go back to this is what we've done. So let's go back to our CSS right now. Let's add some CSS property to see if we can make the website look more unique. So I'm just gonna go back to our text editor right here. Then I locate the CSS folder itself over here. There's a CSS folder. And then the first thing we need to do, we need to add a body, give it a body, we need to add a body, set up the font, put a margin in the background, and then go first. So that's the body. You get that's the body. All right, buddy. Let's give it. Let's set out the font size. The font. The font right where. So I mean, you can give this font whatever you want, but I'm just gonna give it an area of 15 pixels. I need a font of 15 pixels, 1.5 area health Baltica, and a sans serif. That's exactly what I'm gonna be doing right where. So let's give it like that. And then once you're through, Maybe you can give it any font you want. Let's put a pattern. Let's put patterns out because we don't want everything to be the same. Let's say margins out. So let's add some background. So let's add some background. Now you can give the background whatever color you want, depending on your design. You get so I'm just giving a background of F. Let's see F4. So let's save this. Uh, let's go back to our browser. Let's go back to our browser and see what we've done. Okay, so we have a background color already. It looks better. So let's move on. Let's move on. Let's design the after the body. I think let's add a container. Let's design a container. We're gonna design, let's go back to index the system. We're trying to okay. What we did here for this div class, we give it a div class of container, right? So all I just gotta do right now is copy this guy right here. Let's start. Let's design it. Now, will you for content? I need to give it a comment. Let's give it a comment. Let's give it a comment of container. Always give comments. Let's see. I want to make it global, so always give a comment because I want it all over the website. So for container, okay, all right, no problem. I'll tend to that. I'm seeing your hands up. So for container, because this website we're gonna be using the div class and then container. And so for container, what's that? I'm trying to, for container, you need to give it you need to start with a full stop and then for I'm just gonna paste it right now. Why for an ID, you know, use number start branding. So first and foremost, so what we're just gonna do right away is to let's give it a weight of 80% because let's give it a weight of 80% because I want everything centralized and then I want it to repeat itself again. So let's give it a margin. Let's set our margin to auto. Let's set our margin to auto. So when I said that you should use docs when you have a div class, and then use a number that's the hashtag when you have an ID. So that's exactly what I just did right away. So I'm gonna give it a margin for auto now. What would that mean? That's gonna move everything to the middle. So let's say auto, and then after that, let's give it an overflow heading. Now, why I'm giving it an overflow is because when something goes outside of the div, we don't need to have a scroll bar. So we just want everything to be hidden and not the content. So the next, I'm just gonna give overflow heading. Let's say overflow heading. Let's say overflow heading. Okay. So let's save this. Let's go back to our browser. Let's see what we've got, right? Well, I don't know why it's not working, but sorry about that. So let me go back again. Let's see. Okay. Well, I think there's a mistake right here. Nothing changes. Let me go back to a code editor again and see. And I'm trying to locate something. Come here, let me get this overflow right away. Let's see. All right, let me go back. Let's see. Ah, let's go back and overflow. Let's say heat it. On the next, we're gonna give it the next. We're gonna design the header. I think I got it mixed up right here. I might have to. I just hold on a bit. You're trying to correct something. Okay, sorry about breakdown. I needed to go ahead and find out where the issue is from and see what I've done that's not right. And so I'm just gonna come back over here and see. Let's see how the website looks right now. Let me go back to the web page and see. And so let's try to move everything to the middle. So let me go back. I mean, I was just trying to check where my mistake is from. So let me go back to the code editor. Let's give it a comment of container. Let's see. Sorry about that. Try to see how we can get this. Say, make it a global. Like I told us, container to div class. So I get that. The container is a div class, and I said, for when you have a class, you just have to put just, and when you have a number, or when you have an ID, you have to use number. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say, so let's give it a width of 80 pixels. That's a width of 80 pixels. So let's come back and say, let's come back. So let's say margin auto, margin auto. So let's save this and go back to our browser and see if there's any changes. Let's see. Wow, well, we did something wrong entirely. And so something is wrong. Okay, so let's go back and correct that. What the hell is that? So let's go back and correct that. Let's say, uh, where's the mistake? Okay, it shouldn't be pixel. This should be percent. I made a mistake. It should be 80%. 80%. So let's correct this and see. Let's go back and okay, good. So we got everything in the middle. So we need to add an overflow. So correct. So we need to add an overflow. Go back to your text editor. So we need to add an overflow. And so while we're adding an overflow, is there anybody that had a question? So why we're setting the overflow hidden is because when something, like I told us earlier, so when something goes outside the div, I mean, we want it to have a scroll back, and so we just want everything to be hidden, not the content itself. So I have explained this before, so I'm just gonna do right away and say overflow here. Let's give it a hidden. Save this. Go back to the web browser. Let's see. Okay, we're good. Okay, so we're good. Okay, so let's do a bit styling. Let's do a bit styling. Let's go ahead and style the header. Let's go ahead and style the header. So to do that, let's go back to our text editor. We're gonna add another comment right here. Let's see. Let's give another comment. Let's see header. The reason I'm doing this is just for you to know why you what you're doing. That's that's why I'm doing this. Okay. Okay. So let's go back. Let's say header. I got some messages coming in, but I mean, let's say header. The first thing first we need to do is just to give it a first thing first we need to do is just give it a background. Just a background. Let's give it a background. Now, I mean, I like telling you guys that you can set just whatever color you want. For me, I'm just gonna use but the default color that we have on the website. Let's go back to the website. Let's go back to our demo website that we have over here. So I'm just gonna use the default colors that we have here right away. And so if you're using Chrome, I've installed an extension called ColorZilla. All you just need to do, if you're using Chrome, just go to Google. And brother, I quickly want to show you something. That's how you can pick codes for yourself again. Let's go to Google. Let's see Google, and then you type ColorZilla. Okay, you type ColorZilla. You type ColorZilla and download the Google Chrome extension. So all you just have to do, download this Google Chrome extension. So what that helps you do is that if you're working on a web project and then there's any color you see you like, the extension helps you to pick out color. Just exactly what I'm going to do over here. I'm just going to pick out this color right here. I'm adding to my code editor. So not exactly this color, but I don't like this. So let's come over here and pick another color. All right, I've picked up the color, so I'm just going to go back to my code editor right here. Then add the color to my background. And then, so this color 4169A1 and then 4169A1. Let's give it a color of white. You can see it right here. So let's give it a color of white. That's a color. Give it a color of white. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. After that, let's say let's give it a pattern top, title pixels, and pattern bottom 70 pixels. So pattern top, pattern top, title pixels. And then you give it a minimum height of 70 pixels. Minimum height, we want everything to be responsive. So that's why we're going to give it a minimum height. It's a minimum height. We want everything to be responsive. So when you change when you go on a web mobile version of it, it's every page, the web page that you open is going to be responsive. Let's say 70 pixels. That's 70 pixels. So let's save this and go back to our browser. Let's see the changes that we've made. Okay. Not exactly the color that I see here. This color is quite different from what I can see here. I think there's a mistake, so I'm going to change the color right away. Let's go back to that text editor. Oh, we made a mistake. I changed the color, not knowing why. So it's supposed to be 4169E1. So let's go back here and say 4161E1. So I'm just going to come over here and change this guy. So I made a mistake. I didn't check it. 41. The color code itself is should be forward. I think yeah, 4169E1 4169E1 E1. So let's save this and go back to our browser. Let's save this and go back to our browser and see. Okay, the save is the same. All right, I think it's the same. All right, and the next we're gonna do, still on the header. Let's go back. Let's tie the link. So let's go back to our text editor right away. To header. We're adding links, as you can see. And the first thing first we need to do, we need to give it a color of white because the text, the background is blue, so we need to give a color of white. So white. Then so let's save this and see. Let's go back and see. Okay, good. Just change to white. So let's come back to color data. Let's see. And then the next you need to add let's give it text decoration. No, let's see how we can change it on other list. The text decoration. We'll try to remove the bullet from the guy text decoration. Oh guys, let me this text decoration. Listen, no, text decoration should be no. Now I like text transformation should be uppercase. I want everything to be uppercase. text transformation. I want to change. Let's go. But let me show you something right here. So I want the menu links to be uh uppercase. So just like what we have here. So I'm gonna do that right away. So let's go back to the text editor again. So I said let's start uppercase, right? So let's save this and go back to our browser. Let's check. Okay, so good. We're good, right? We're good. So another thing we need to do right now, uh we need to start the navigation. So navigation is a class, so we give it an ID, so we need to start the nav because nav is an ID. Come over here. It's a branding rather, so we give it as an ID of branding, give it an ID of branding. So let's go back to CSS. Then we need to start the header li. That's the link. So let's go back and see. It's the header li. First and first you need to do, you need to float it to the left. This is float. Now, let me explain this. This is float left. Let me save this first. Let me go ahead and save this. I want to show something. What I just want to do, I want to move. What I just did is, I want to move this guy. I want to move this guy here to the right, and the logo stick right. But I think we made a mistake right here. That's why you can see. Like, let's go back and check what we did. Okay, I did not add a font size. I think I didn't add a font size for this for the image. So let's say font size. I made a mistake. This is 16 pixels. 16 pixels. And then header link. Try to float it to the left. And then we give it a display. We give it a display. Let's say display inline because we don't want it anywhere. So let's save the. So let's go back and see what we've done. Okay. All right. I just click on one of the pages this way. Okay. I think this. Yeah, it was. So let's go back and let's add some padding to it. Let's add padding. Let's add some padding to make it look better. So 0 pixels, zero. Let's say 0 pixels left, 0 pixels right, 0 pixels top, 0 pixels bottom. Let's save this and go and see how it looks. Nothing changes. Let me go back. Make sure I save this. Okay, let me add. So I'm just gonna add 20 pixels left, 20 pixels top, 20 pixels bottom. So So let's save this. Let's go back and see. Okay, so this is better. I think it's 20 pixels to the left and 20 pixels to the right. That's what we did for the party. And so let me go back. Then we need to design the navigation link, which is an ID. For ID, we're gonna use branding. For ID, we're gonna use branding. Let's go back. We need to design this branding. So I'm gonna come over here, head over ID. For ID, we're gonna use branding, which is a number. So I'm just gonna come over here and say header. For, for branding, you need to add number to branding. And then let's say float. Let's float to the right. Right. Let's say right. Then save it. Let's go back to our browser. Let's see. Oh, I think this has to be to the left. Sorry about that. It has to be to the left. So let's change this. All right, let's change this to left. Go back and see what we've done. Sorry about the messed up. Okay, so we need to add some pattern right here. So we need to bring it down. Let's add some pattern to make it nice. But so we need to, for the heading, let's design the heading. Let's go ahead and design the heading of the, let's copy this guy right here. Copy it, come over here. So, and put page one, and then the next you're gonna do, you need to set the margin to 0. It's the margin 0, margin 0. Let's save this. Let's go back. Let's go back to our browser. Okay. Uh, I think there's something I'm mixing for the UI. I want the margin on the pattern to be 0 and let it be set in all the, let it be, let it be in the global comment. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm just gonna hover to global to where we have a container. I need to add a header URL. So what I'm gonna do right away, let's say URL margin 0. Let's say URL. Let's give it a margin of 0. Margin 0. I'm over here. Let's say margin 0 because margin 0. Let's save this. Let's go back. Let's say, okay, I think it's better. So I need to design the navigation link. Still an ID. Let's come back over here. Next, we're gonna do this is the next we're gonna do is the nav. So let's say header nav. That's exactly the next we're gonna do is the navigation link. So header nav, header nav. So what you're gonna do right away is to give it a power. And then let's say float to the right for the navigation. Let's say float to the right, and then you give it a margin top of 10 pixels. It's a margin top of 10 pixels, 10 pixels. Then you save this. Let's go back to our editor. Let's go back to the browser rather. Okay, so this is better, but the span here, that's the text logo, is not aligned to with the navigation link. So we need to bring it down a bit. To do that, we need to bring it down a bit. To do that, let's go back to our text editor. So I just got to do right is to add and highlight, and let's add and highlight of the current. Comment. Let me check up something right away. I need to bring this guy down a bit. Let me see if I can fix that up. But before I do that, I think let me design the highlight because we'll have an highlight here. A spam. We've added a spam cloud of highlight. So highlight is an inline tag. So what we're just gonna do right here, let's see if we can design the highlights. And then so let's say color. Let's give it a color. I mean, you can give this whatever color you want, but I have a color in mind. I'm just gonna follow the colors that we have there. The Let's come over here. Let's say, let's give the font weight bold. Font weight should be bold. Let's save this. Let's go back. Let's go back to our browser. Let's see if we can get it. Let's see. Okay. All right. And now why you can see this right here, we set on highlights for each page. Want this color to be here. That's why it's like that. Again, I think I need to fix up something. But we need to do the hover. For the header, we need to do the hover. Let's see. Let's add a hover. So whenever I hover on any menu, it's just gonna get it right. So I'm just gonna come over here. Let's add hover. You give it whatever color you want to see. You can give it, let's say purple, whatever color, but I'm just let's see. Let's give it purple. And then after um give it a font width of bold, font width of bold, so bold. So let's go back and see. Okay. I think something's wrong. Maybe I didn't save this. Maybe I didn't save this. Let's go back to the code editor and see. Share fire. Let me okay. Sorry about it. I'm trying to find something about a hater. Okay. Um, sorry. Let's give that a moment to. Okay. So, but sorry about breakdown. I'm trying to check in here. This guy is balanced, but we have a mistake over here. I think I'm trying to trace out where the mistake is from. Let's go back to a code editor and let's check. Okay, I think the mistake is from this URL. So let's add this to let's correct this and let's save this and see. Just wondering. Okay, so it's better now. I think it's better. So let's go back to a code editor. I'm gonna change this over color. Over color right here. I don't need this color, so I need to change this color. Let's give it something else. Uh, let's see. You can give it whatever color you want. Let's save this. Uh, Save this. Let's go back and see. Okay. So the hover color is here. So the next we're gonna do right away is to design the showcase. the showcase. So let's go back to our code editor. I love adding comments. So let's give it a comment of showcase. The showcase an ID. So you need the showcase an ID. So we need to you need to use the number sign to do that. So let's say showcase. Let's give it a comment. Don't worry, you have any question, you can drop it on the comment section. You can drop it on the box on the comment below. Okay, let's just showcase. The showcase, right? Sorry about it. Then the next we're gonna do, let's say, give it a number. This is showcase. The first thing first, we're gonna give it a minimum height of 400 pixels. That's the minimum height because we want everything to be responsive. 400 pixels. And let me show us something. Let me go back right away and show us something. So what we were trying to do right now, we're trying to design the hero section right here. That's exactly what we're trying to do. So I'm because for the hero section, for the hero section that we have here is the showcase that we use for this. So we need to add it right here. So let's go back. Let's go back to our code editor again. It's the showcase minimum height of 400 pixels, and we need to add a background. It's a background. Let's put it URL. Now I already had an image linked to it to where it is, so I'm just gonna add this. Oh, it's a two dot. That's a slash. Not this slash img. I think there's a mistake right here. We need to add two dots. Where the two dots slash img. Okay, slash. Let's say showcase. Showcase the JPEG. Okay. So let's save this. Let's see what we've got. Okay, so we don't want this to be like this, so we need to take the image a bit up. So we need to take the image up again. So let's go back to our code editor. let's add let's add another stuff right here. So let's say no repeat. Let's say no repeat. Let's save this and go back again and see. Let's save this. All right. Now we want to take this up so that it's gonna look nice. All we just gotta do, uh we need to add 0 pixels, 11, then 400 pixels, right? So I'm just gonna come over here, 0 pixels and 400 pixels, and then save this, right? So let's go back and see. Okay, this is looking better. So let's design this. Let's add a CSS property for the H1. Let's add a CSS property for the H1. So let's say showcase H1. Showcase. Let's go back to our code editor. Let's go back to our code editor. Say showcase H1. So I'm just gonna copy this guy right here. Let's just copy this guy. So let's say H1. Add H1. We're trying to design the heading. So let's give it a margin top of 100 pixels. Margin top of 100 pixels. Wants it to look more better. Let's say 100 pixels. And after we give it a font size of 55. Let's see, font size of 55, 55 pixels. All right, let's save this. Let's go back and see what we've gotten first, and then okay, okay. I think we need to add margin bottom at the same time. Let's just give it a margin bottom of 10 pixels. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's add margin bottom. Let's add margin bottom. 10 pixels and margin bottom. 10 pixels. 10 pixels. Save this. Let's go back to code editor. Okay, I think this is better, but we need to design the heading. Change this to white, just like what we have here. What we have here is white. So let's go back. Let's go back to our code editor. Let's add some properties. Let's design the paragraph. Let's add some properties. So let's go ahead and design the paragraph. So let's paste that showcase. Just add paragraph. Just to be and see. I think we need to increase the font size and then that's the font size. Let's give font size of the paragraph. This is 20 pixels. 20 pixels. Let's save this. Let's go back and see what we've done. Okay, this is a bit better. Let's do something. Let's go back to the CSS property and then we did not I think there's a mistake. So let's go back to the CSS property. Uh, okay, we did not complete this guy right here of the showcase. So what we're gonna do next is to let's say text align. Let's align the text align. We didn't add this at the earlier stage, so that's why I'm having that message. Let's say text align. Text align. Let's say text align. Let's align everything to the center. So we'll give it a color of white. So let's give it a color of white. We're trying to design the text. So just a color of white. Um, white. So let's save this and go back to the browser. Let's see. Okay, so I mean it's looking better. So we're through with the hero section right here. The next section ID that we're gonna be designing is the newsletter. So we're from here. So let's look at what we've done. So we're through with this guy right here. So let's move on to the newsletter. So let's go back to our test editor. Come over here. Let's give it another comment. Let's get another comment. Let's give it another comment. Newsletter. Newsletter. All right. Sorry. Should have done that. Okay. It's an ID, so we need to start with a number. So since the newsletter is we give it a div class of ID to newsletter. So newsletter. And then so newsletter, we're gonna give it a pattern of 15 pixels, pattern 15 pixels, 15 pixels. And then let's add some color. Color should be white. Should be white. And then let's give it a background of same background. Let's give it a background of blue, same background, 419. Give it a background of 4169E. Let's see. I mean, you can give this background color of your choice. 41. I mean, I'm just trying to duplicate what we have there on our website. So let's save this. Let's go back and take a look on how it looks. Okay. So we're gonna well the next thing we're gonna do is to see how we can float the placeholder to the right, the input side placeholder to the right. So let's see how we can achieve that. Go back to your text editor. Let's come over here. Let's try to design the heading. So let's add another branding. Let's say use. I'm just gonna copy this guy right here. Go right here and add the H1. Try and design the head and see. So what you're gonna give it right away. Let's say float it. Let's float to the left. Let's float it to the left. So let's save this and see. Okay. All right. It's better. So let's see. Let's go back again to our CSS. Let's design the form. Let's design the form. So we're just gonna come over here. Let's say facing it and just add form. That what you're gonna do on the form. Let's say let's float the form to the right. The form floats to the right. Let's give it a margin. Give it a margin top of 15 pixels. Margin top of 15 pixels. And top of 15 pixels. So let's save this. Let's go back and see what we've done. Okay, this is much better. So let's go back again to our CSS. Let's design the input. Let's design the input. So what we're gonna do, we need to identify the input. So let's use later. Uh, Give it an input type. So we need to identify the inputs. Okay, so want it to be male. All right. So let's give it a pattern of 4 pixels. Pattern 4 pixels. Let's give it a margin. Let's give it a height. Let's give it a height of what height is that? Let's say 25 pixels. Let's give it a width of 250 pixels. So let's say width 250 pixels. Now you got a question, just drop it below. So let's save this and go back and see it. Let's go back to our browser. Okay. And now we're gonna design the button and but because we want to design the button, we want this to be global. We want it to be on everywhere. So if you come over here, you're gonna see it right here. Come over here, you're gonna see. So we want it to be global. We want this guy to be global. So we need to go back to our container. Uh, we need to go back to our container. Let's locate our container. So where okay, container. We need to design the button right there. So for for the button is a class, is a div class. So I'm gonna come over here, give you this guy. So need to give it a height of 38 pixels, height 38 pixels, 38 pixels. Thereafter, give it a background. I'm gonna use the same color, just like the demo website. So I mean, you can change that color of your choice. So let's give it this color. Let's say border 0. Let's say border have to be 0. And after the border, let's give it a pattern level 20 pixels, pattern right 20 pixels, right? Pattern left, let's say 20 pixels, 20 pixels, pattern right 20 pixels. So let's say color. Let's give it a color of white. So let's save this. Let's go back to our browser. Let's see. Sorry about this. I don't know why it's not sure. So let's go back to our browser. Okay, I mean this is looking better. So the next are the leads. We need to design the. Let me go back here. The next one on the leads is the boxes. We need to design the boxes. The boxes and ID. So we need to go ahead and design the boxes to make it look nice. So let's go back to our test editor again. Let's come over here. So let's give it a comment. I like giving comments because it explains it and make it look easier. So let's say the boxes. Boxes is an ID. So let's come over here. So boxes, let's go back and see something. So boxes, I'm gonna copy this guy right here. Come over here. See, this is an ID. The boxes. First of all, that we need to do, we need to give it a margin top of 20 pixels, a margin top, 20 pixels. So let's save this and go back and see what we've done. Okay, looking better. The next we're gonna do right away is we need to design the boxes. So let's go back to our code editor. We need to design the box. I'm just gonna copy this guy right here. I just add boxes. And then whoa, the box is a class. So first of all, you need to do, you need to give it let's float everything to the left. So float to the left. Made a mistake. Float to the left. Thereafter, give it a text align of center. Text align. Let's align it. Let's align to the center. Let's save this and go back to our browser. See how it looks. Okay. Let's go back. Let's add some width and padding. So width 30 pixels and then padding 10 pixels. So let's say width. So width 30 pixels and then padding should be 10 pixels. Padding. I need it. 10 pixels. So let's save these. Let's go back to our browser. Okay. I mean, we're getting there. Don't worry. Still gonna see some changes. So what we're gonna do right away is to add the box's image. So we're just gonna copy this guy right here. Let's come here. Let's design the image. So I'm just gonna add MG. And then so what we're gonna do right now, we give it a width of 90 pixels. That's a width. Let's give it a width of 90 pixels. 90 pixels. So you have to be careful about what you do. So let's save this and go back and see. Looks like there's no change in yet. I think, did I save this job? Let's watch and see where the mistake is coming from. Okay, okay, sorry about the breakdown. I'm trying to locate where the mistake is from. Let me go back to the browser. Let's see. It's not changing. Maybe we made a mistake. So let me go back to the code editor again and see where the hell the mistake is from. Okay, I think I need to get rid of this guy right here. I think it should be box, not boxes. Let's see. Oh my god. I mean, let's see. Okay. Let me go back and see. There should be box. Let me go back. Wow. Okay. Trying to figure out where the problem is. Let me go ahead and look at it again and see. See. So I think the weight here should be 30%, not pixel. The weight here should be 30%, not pixel. So let's see 30%, not pixel. Let's save this and let's go back and see. Okay, I think it's looking better. I think this is better. I mean, sometimes could be crazy. I think this is better. So let me go back to the text editor. And the next we're gonna do let's design the footer. Let's design the footer. And next we're gonna do let's design the footer. So see here. So let's design the footer. And I'm gonna come over here. This is the footer. Let's give it a pattern of 20 pixels. I mean, you need to be careful between pixels and percentage. Where you have to put pixel, where you have to put percentage, you put percentage. So don't mistake it because if you mistake the both of them, you're gonna get a crappy work. Let's imagine touching between the pixels. That's exactly what I just did right here. This is what we have in this challenge. It's a 20 pixels. Let's give it a color white. Color of white. Thereafter, let's give it a background color of white. Background color. Background color of white. I just want to replicate the same thing. Let's say 419. Okay, so we have it. Thereafter, let's do the text align to the middle. Text align, center. Let's save this, go back and see. Okay, so we're through with the first page. We're through with this first page over here. So we're through with this first page. The next is the sub pages that we just created. And so to do that, we need to go back to our code editor again. Let's go back to our code editor. And then let's come over to index and system. We need to add a new file. Let's see. The new file should be about.html. About.html. Okay, so I'm just gonna come over here. I need to copy everything right here. Come over, paste it. Well, I need to remove some I need to remove. So this guy is the current. Let's take this as the current. Let's remove this guy right here. It's no longer the current. So I'm just gonna copy this guy right here. Where about it? Ooh. Yeah, I made a mistake. So I was gonna copy this guy right away. So let's search this guy right here. This is a car. It's out about this. We already have it, right? Okay, let's save this. We're gonna remove this guy. Take out a section right here. We already take out a section. We need to take out all the section. We need to take out all the section. Let's take out section. Let me go back to the main website and let's see. Let me go back. Let's see what we have here. So we just got this guy here and then click on the bar. Okay. Let me go back to the code editor. Let's save this. Let's go back and see. Okay. Let me check this. Okay, this is what we have. And then, all right, so let's do the body. Don't worry about the page. We're just gonna design the body, and let's design this body. To do that, we need to give it a side. We need to give it a side, and let's go back to our code editor. So we're going to give it a section ID of main. Yeah, set it an article. We're going to add an article there. So let's give it a section ID of main. So where's it called? So let's see. It's gonna go when that section. Let's give it a section ID of article section. Let's give it a section ID of main. So main. So we're gonna give it an article. I'm gonna give it an article. So let's come back and see. We're gonna use an article for this. Let's say article. Even an article class of what? Even an article ID of main columns ID. It's the main column. Now we're trying to design something right here. It's the main column. Column. So let's give it a h1 tag of let's give it a h1. So we're gonna give it a class, a h1 class title. So h1, give it a class of title. I just need you guys to watch what I'm doing right here. I think it should be page title, not title. It's a page. So the page title should be about us. Let's add a paragraph. So I'm just gonna copy some cemented text right away. Let's save this. Let's go back and look at what we've done. Okay. All right. So I think we need to add the sidebar. We need to add a sidebar. So let's go back. Um, let's go back to our code editor. I'll get us some feed right here. I'm exporting some. I'm exporting somebody this one bit slow. Sorry about that. Might have to kind of hold. Okay, so let's give it a pick class of dark. And we're gonna come over here to let's try to do something. The pick class of dark. We're trying to design the sidebar. Let's see dark. Let's see dark. I did a mistake. Let's give it a class of dark. Let's see. All right. So what you're still seeing is about what we're gonna do right away is dark, and then I already had some text already for the dark. I mean, we're gonna design it, so I already had some text, so some selected text already. So I'm just gonna copy this guy right away, paste it right there, and then the next thing we're gonna do. So let's save this. Let's save this and go back to our browser. Let's see what we've done. Okay. Okay. So let's add a sidebar. Let's add a sidebar to it. Let's add a sidebar. So to add a sidebar, we need a side. We need to open a side element, a side element to give it an idea of give it an idea of the sidebar. Let's close this guy up here. Let's see a side. Let's give it an idea of a sidebar. It's a sidebar, sidebar. Okay, so let's give it a div class of dots as well. Let's see. Give it a div class of dark. So I'm just gonna come over here. Let's see. Div. Let's come over here. Let's see. Class of dark. And then put in the heading. Let's give it a heading of history. Let's see what we do. What we do. And then after that, we need to give it a paragraph. I just need to copy some text and paste in the text again. So I'm just gonna paste it right away. I mean, I'm gonna save this and go back to our browser. So this is what we have about. But when we come over here, we see the dark, so we need to go and design it. We need to design a sidebar. design the DAG. So to do that, let's go back to our code editor, move over to our CSS. Let's go back to our CSS folder. So let's, I think I need to make the DAG global. Let me go back to our container. Let's start with the DAG. Let's go back to our container. Let's add it right here. So is a div class, so we need to start with dots. Since the div class is dark, thereafter need to give it a padding of 15 pixels. Padding, 15 pixels. Thereafter you give it a background. I think it's still the same background that we've been using. So give it a color of white. You can put in the color of a choice, however color you want to do. Now let's give it a margin top 50%, margin bottom 10%. Margin top 10%, margin bottom 10%. Uh, why we're putting on the container is because we want it to be margin top 10 pixels, margin bottom 10 pixels. We want it to be everywhere. So let's say 10 pixels. Let's save this. Let's go back to our browser. Let's see. Let's go back to this guy. Okay. So here we have for the duck. So let's design the sidebar. Let's design the sidebar. We're good to go. So let's see. Oh, we have a different color here. So what I'm just gonna do right here, I think we need to go back to our text editor again and change the color to the one we have on the web on the demo website. So I'm just gonna change this guy right here. I'll take rid of that guy. I'm gonna paste this guy right away. So let's go back and see what we have. Go back here. Okay, so good to go. All right, let's see. So let's go back to our text editor. Let's see if we can. Let's go ahead and design a sidebar. And to do that, we need to give it a comment. Let's give it a comment. Let's give it a comment of sidebar. Let's go back. Let's give it a comment and see. Aside. Okay. Sidebar. Comment of sidebar. All right. So they're explaining some guys. So it's an ID. So we need since it's an ID, I'll just need to do so we set aside and then we put sidebar. After we need to give it a padding. Let's say float. Let's float right. Let's say float to the right. Float has to be right. Let's save this and see. Let's go back to the website and see. Okay. It's not gonna give us anything yet. So let's go back and let's give it a width of 30%, a margin of 10 pixels. So flow to the right. Right. Okay. I think I made a mistake right there. So let's see. I'm a bit tired and then see this is person. Let's go back and do some adjustments. Okay, let's see. Let's give it a margin of let's give it a width of 30 pixels, a margin 30% a margin top of 10 pixels. Give it a weight of 30%. Weight of 30%. Let's give it a margin top 10 pixels. So let's save this. Let's go back to our browser. Oh, okay, okay. We need to design the quote to make it look at the quote of the text area. So thereafter, we need to go back to let's come back to our code editor. Come back to our code editor. Say, give it a width of 90 pixels, 90%. It's a width of 90%. Thereafter, we give it a pattern of 5%. 5%. Well, pattern, let's change this guy to pixels. Let's save it and see. Let's go back and see. All right, nothing works. I think there's a mistake somewhere. Let's see. Let's try to get where the mistake is from. Okay. Okay, so let's design the main column itself. So there's no mistake at the moment. Let's design the main column. Let's see something. Let's add the main column first. I'm going to give it a comment of main column. Let's design the main column. This is the main column. Thereafter, main column. Let's go back to our borders. This is the main column here. This is this guy right here. Let's do it like this. Paste it in code. And then give it a article main column. Let's say float left. Let's give it a float left. To left. Let's give it a weight of 65%. Weight of 65%. Let's save this. Let's go back and see if we made any changes. Wow. This is not looking nice. There's a mistake somewhere. I think we need to identify that mistake. And let's go back to our code. Let's go back to our CSS property. Let's check where the mistake is from. Could be from my end right away. So I'm trying to look at it. Oh, really? This. Oh, see. I'm trying to figure out where the mistake is coming from. We made a mistake, and so let me go back to the sidebar. Where the hell is it? Oh, see, see. Well, I'm trying to figure out something right away. Okay, it's not looking nice, so we need to make it look like this. We need to correct it. So let me go back. I might have to attend something. So just give me a minute. Give me a minute. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry for Big John. So we're having a mistake right here. Let me go back and check. Pretty not sure the photos from the CSS. I'm not sure the photos from the CSS because CSS looks okay. Let's go back to index of system. I think okay. I'll look for something. Let me get rid of this guy. Something we don't do right. The index of system. I guess there's something we didn't do right here. So let's check. We'll copy this guy and see. See. Okay, bring this guy right here. I'm just trying to be sure we're on the same page. Okay, so let's save this and go back and see. Okay, I think this is looking better. I think this is looking better. Okay, it's just looking like the real one. Okay, so the next is the service page, which we're gonna be doing. So to do that, I think we're through with our balance page. So to do the service page, so we need to create another page. Let's go back to our code editor right away. So let's add a new file, service, the system as a service. This is services, the system, this is the system. I'll be right back. Okay, okay, for the services, I think I'm just gonna copy this guy right here. Let's come about the services page and paste it right away. And then we need to do some changes. Let's change this guy. Let's change the heading to services. Let's change the heading services. And then thereafter we move on with the newsletter form and then I think we need to remove the paragraph. We need to remove the paragraph and give it a UL ID of services. Let's add some UL. We need to remove the paragraph. So the paragraph, let's see UL. So let's give it an ID. Wow, what the hell? I just did something wrong. So let's see. Yeah, we need to get rid of this guy. So we need to add a URL, right? URL. Let's give it. Let's give it an ID of services. URL ID. Let's give it an ID of services. This is services. The services, and then we're gonna come over. We're gonna come over. We're gonna to the place. We give it an IR link. So, li right hat. So open a history tag. Let's give it a history tag. You can name it whatever you want to name it. I'm just gonna say website design. I have some selected text that I've copied already. That's the website design. That I come over here and give it a paragraph. It's a paragraph. I already had some cemented text that I've copied already. Paste it. Give it another paragraph. Give it another paragraph. Paste this right now. So we're gonna do the same thing. All we just need to do. We're gonna do the same thing. Trying to adjust this and make it a little bit unique a bit. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna do the same thing. So let's copy that same guy. So let's copy this guy right here. Let's do that same thing right here. I'm gonna paste it. Now I think we need to do some adjustment and just need to make it look good. Okay. So I'm just gonna change the heading, the website maintenance, website hosting. So after then, so we're gonna change our sidebar to get a quote. We need to add a form for get a quote. And to do that, we need to get rid of. Let's see if I can close this guy. Wait. So, okay. So let's save this. Let's go back and see. Sorry about this. Okay. So, we need to let's see it from here. Let's see what we got on our services. This is how our services look like, right? So we need to we need to change this into a form. So what we got here is a form. So we need to change it. Let's go back to our code editor again. Let's go back to our code editor. So let's say sidebar. Let's give it this color of dark. The heading should be get a quote. The same thing. The heading should be get a quote. The heading should be get a quote. So we just need to get a quote. Get a quote. So we need to get a paragraph off. So what's your true writing get a quote? The next thing should be let's give it a form class of quotes. Let's give it a form class. Let's say a form. All right, let me just do it like this. Like we don't want an action, we want a class. Change this to class. It's a quote. So it's a label. Let's give it div class of label as a div. So let's give it div class of let's give it label name and put in the input tags. So label that get is label should be name. Should be name. And thereafter, I'm sorry about my voice is a bit down. Sorry about that. So a bit. I've been walking. So and then we're gonna give an input type. So we give it an input type. Let's see, input type should be text. Input type text. They give it a placeholder. Let's give it a placeholder. It's a placeholder. Ah, placeholder. What's the name? The after we're gonna close it. Yeah, then I missed it. All right, this guy is gonna come over here. I'm trying to make this look unique. Aha. Okay, so we need to do the same thing for email. So I'm just gonna copy this guy right here. What I think I need to do is just to copy this guy right here. This thing- I'm gonna change this guy, this level to email, text stuff, personal email. So let's give another gift class, the message. So for messages, labeling, message. Message, change the placeholder to message. So let's go ahead. So let's save this. Let's go back to okay. So this is what we have. So we need to design it. This is what we have. So we need to design it. Once again, we need to add a button. So let's go back. We, we, we need to add a button. We need to add a button. And to do that, okay, there's a mistake we didn't add. There's a mistake we did for the message. We need to add a text area. I noticed there's a mistake there, so we need to, instead of input, we need to change this into text area. Text area. For the text area, give it a placeholder of maybe. Yeah. So thereafter, so let's add a button, a submit button to it. So let's add a button. So let's give it a div class of button. Let's come over here. Let's add a genesis. We have a div class of button. Okay. Now let's save this. Let's go back and see. Okay. It's looking better. So let's go back and design this. But you might, I think I'll be right back. Let's hold on a bit. Okay, so let's go back to CSS. Let's go back to our CSS. Let's add some, let's design it. So I'm just gonna come over here. Let me add another comment. We're about rounding up. Let's add a comment. Let's add a comment of services. What is static. Okay, the first thing first we need to do, let's say services. So we added some URL. Let's go back to service first. So we added the URL here. It's an idea of branding. So let's say URL. After you give it a, let's give it a list start of known. List start is a known. Thereafter, give it a pattern of 20 pixels pattern. 20 pixels. Let's give it a margin top of 20 pixels margin top. Sorry about it. So margin top, 20 pixels, and then let's give it a color of white. I don't want to wash this in. That's why, and then let's give it a background color of the default color background. Background color should be the default color that we've been using. Background color. trying to locate it. We're gonna see that guy. So background color should be the default color that we've been using. Say red, right? Thereafter, we're gonna give it a text align. Let's align every text to this to the middle. So let's just center. So let's save this and go back and see what we've done. Okay, let's come over here and see. Not really. This is the color that we have. Not red. Okay, so I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna copy this color code. Go back to CSS. So I'm gonna change this right now. Not that. So I'm gonna get rid of this guy right here. Paste this color. Let's save it. Let's go back to our page. Let's go back to work. Wow, is that looking nice? I didn't get the color correct. What color is this? Okay, so let me go back. I think I didn't add a border. There's something I'm missing from there. I think this should be border. After the padding, let's add a border. So we're gonna give it a color. We're gonna give it a color. Let's see, one pixel solely to the right. Let's see, border type solely one pixels. Let's save this. Let's go back to our browser and see if we got it right there. I'm sorry about that. Let's see. Let's go back to browser. Okay, I think this is better. Oh, not really. We've not gotten it. Let's go back. Maybe I did a mistake. Did I save it? Let's check where the mistake is from. There's be a mistake from here. So please get rid of this. I think I did a mistake. So let's get ahead of this. Yeah. I made a mistake. So let's use this. So let's save this. Please make sure you take note of this. This is the exact one. Let's go back here and see. Okay, it's better. So the quote, the get a quote. Let's see how we can design the get a quote. So I'm gonna come over to style data. Let's see, I think I've done something like that before, which is here. Guys, not giving me what I want. Let me see. Okay, let me compare it to this one that we have. Okay, I mean it's better now. This guy here, this guy here, a lot different. But let's see. This is the website. Let's see if it's responsive in the mobile view. Okay, so it's not responsive in the mobile view. To actually get this running, we need some media queries. to get this working. We need to add some media queries to it. All right, so let's go back to our text editor. I might have to hold on a bit. Okay, I'm back. So let's add some. I'm back. Let's add some media queries so that we can set the weight to the mobile weight to a specific weight plays and therefore we can see how we can be able to view this from a mobile view on still that. Let's go ahead and add some media queries over here. So I'm just going to submit it. Let me give it a comment. Media queries. If you have any question, if you have any questions, you just have to drop it down because we're almost through. Whereas, and then I'm gonna come over right here to see. Let's set that media. Let's give it a max width. Let's see at media. Okay. Give it a max width. Give it a max width of 7. Max width of 768 pixels. 768 pixels. 768 pixels. 768 pixels. Max width media. Okay, so let's give it a let's save this and go back to our browser. Let's see. Okay, when you refresh this, it's not gonna show. Let me do something. I'm trying to see if it's gonna show something. Okay. Okay. I'm trying to check the link. All right, let's go ahead and add some. Let's go back. Let's go back. Give it header branding. The header branding. Branding. Branding's an ID. It's a branding. Okay, we're trying to design this here. But then let's say header nav. Header nav. From there we give it a header nav. Hello. Header nav. Hello. Give it years later, listen years later. Years later, hey, June. We give a newsletter for form. We're trying to make this mobile expensive, so we give a brandy for boxes. That box. Give it an article. article main slash column. So do for the outside. Side for the sidebar. Well, trying to see how it's gonna go. So at the after, I'm gonna get rid of this guy. Let's add. Let's say float. Let's give it none. It's a text align. Let's align everything to the center. Text align. Put it to the center. Thereafter, let's give it a width of 100%. Sorry about the width. Let's correct that. So let's save this and go back and see what we've done. Let's save this and see. Okay, it's looking a bit better. So let's go ahead. Let's continue our design. Let's go back, looking a bit better. So let's go back to our code editor again. Let's do something. Let's design the header. It's a header. Let's give it a pattern bottom 20 pixels. Pattern bottom 20 pixels. Let's go back to showcase. Let's try for showcase. Let's get let's do for showcase. Showcase page one. Let's give it a margin top of 40 pixels. Margin top of 40 pixels. We're trying to make this mobile responsive, so that's why we're doing this. We haven't made a queries to it. In case you have any question, you can drop me. You can hit me up. I'm gonna respond to you immediately. So let's do for newsletter. Uh, let's do for newsletter boarding. That should be the let's do for newsletter boarding. So we have this guy right here. So let's say display block and give it a weight of 100%. Let's say display. block. So let's give it a weight of 100%. 100%. The next is the input type for the text area for the newsletter. That's the next one that leaks, and I already have it up here. So you just copy it from here. We've done it already. So all you just need to do is just copy. All it says, just copy from here. You check them for the input type for the newsletter. This guy right here, this where. So just copy it, the paste it right. Wow. So what you gotta do right now is to let's give it a weight of 100%. Let's give it a weight of 100%. Thereafter, let's give a margin bottom of 5 pixels. Margin bottom of 5 pixels. So we have that. And then let's save it. Let's go back to our work. Let's go back to our browser. I think there's a mistake somewhere. So I'll check out where the mistakes from. Okay, let's see. Let me go back again. Let's see. Sorry about that. Let's see the screen. Let's see. Okay, I think it's better now. So this is better. It's mobile responsive. You can set it to any weight you want. Set it to let's say Galaxy, whichever way you want to set it to. If you have any question, please just hint me up. I'm going to respond to you. So we might have to stop here. Exactly. This is the end of the training. The website, check the about us. Website is the same. Like you get it. So it's mobile responsive. Let's do something that's mobile responsive. This is the minimum week today. So and I love to stop here. So you have any question, you have any question, you can hint me up and I'll be glad to answer you. Thank you very much for your time. I sincerely appreciate you for your effort and for waiting and for watch. You can go back to watch this video. They're gonna be uploaded on the website. Just go back there, hit the button, hit the same link you've been giving always, and go back to the website. Let's so VTech, take the let's visit the website. Just visit the website and you're gonna watch the videos. The slashes from training videos. This is the website for each of the training. The videos is gonna be uploaded for you to watch. So always visit that website whenever a training is completed. Go back to the website and check for the videos, and you're gonna get all your videos right away. So for this tutorial, log into the website later, or more better, the link that has been sent to you. Just click on that link. You're gonna watch this video. So thank you very much for your time. I sincerely appreciate. See you in the next class.